Right, here we have the SJ6000 1080p 30 frames a second sports action camera. Let's see what's in the box. Right, well, first off, the camera in its neat little waterproof case. To open the case, it's a question of sliding over the safety catch here, popping that up, and out will pop the camera. Put that down for a second. Case looks nicely made, and it also comes with a spare back which has got slots in to allow sound in if you want some audio with your video. You've got the manual here, which looks pretty thorough, although as I've already had a little look through some of this stuff, there are some things that have been missed. You've got cable ties, you've got USB charging lead with the charger, you've got a lens cleaning cloth, you've got two sticky mounts to go on helmets, one with a curve, spare sticky mounts, handlebar mount, various standoffs. This one has got a 1/4 inch screw thread mount in the base for tripod mounting, and you've got one here with a male version of the 1/4 inch. Two or three standoffs, short, long with a twist, another mount to slip into the skateboard mount or helmet mount, some straps and Velcro straps, and a skeleton case. This is a bit of an unusual one. A skeleton case is an open case where you can just slip the camera in if you're not sure what it is. Just slides in like so. I find this very useful for paragliding because what I do is, they call this a backpack clip. I use this one on my paragliding helmet, clip that onto the chin guard of the helmet and have the camera mounted that way, and I can operate it quite easily right in front of my face. FPV lead for FPV flying. You will of course need a micro card. It's not supplied with a camera. I'm using a good brand, SanDisk 32 gig, and I did a little test. Manufacturers claim 90 minutes battery life, and I actually managed to get 90 minutes at 1080 30 frames a second, and that was about 10 gig. So a 32 gig card is more than enough capacity for your video making. Right, so let's take a look at the camera. I must say, I like this little shiny, sexy black look. Feels nice, quite solid, looks nicely manufactured. To start with, there's a 2-inch screen on the back of the case, 2 buttons this end for scrolling up and down through the menu options, and a little speaker there because when you play back, you do actually get audio with your video playback. On the front here we've got the power on and off button and mode, a 170-degree wide angle lens, and you'll notice it's got Wi-Fi, more about that later. On this end, the micro SD card slot, HDMI out, and the USB charging socket, which is also used for downloading your videos. Obviously plug into your PC. And in the base there's the little pocket that takes the battery. Right, well, let's turn it on. Short press of the power button on the front, and you get a colourful welcome screen. And you're straight into video mode. And across the top it's showing me AWB, which is average white balance, standby, I'm not sure what FHD is, 30 frames a second, video mode, battery life, I've already given it a charge actually. What exposure value I've got set at, time date which I've already set, that's the Wi-Fi symbol, more on that later. I'm not quite sure what that is. It looks like an anti-shake symbol, but I can't see it in the menu. Well, operation's very simple. I'm in video mode when I fired it up. short press of the button, and it says SD card not inserted, which prompts me to tell you how to put the SD card in. Right, well, if you try and put an SD card in the wrong way, it will stick out. So if you put it that way, it's sticking out a long way. That doesn't want to go in. You don't want to force it. Turn it around so the logo is towards the screen. A little press with a fingernail, and the card is in. Right, I'm now ready to shoot some video. Short press of the button. We've got recording light flashing, telling me how the duration of my video, which at the moment is 7 seconds. We've got a nice light flashing on the top to tell me that I'm recording as well. Nothing on the front to tell you you're recording. Another short press, close that down. To go into stills mode, short press on the front, symbol has changed there to stills camera, and it says I'm in the 12 megapixel setting. Short press in playback mode. Another short press, I'm in looking at the files mode, but there aren't any. And another short press, I'm in the settings menu. Right, and then to turn off, it's a 3-second press on the power button on the front. Okay, so let's have a look through the menu settings. Short press on the front, turn on. Press the power button. 1 press, I'm in stills. 2 press, I'm in a playback mode. 3 press, I'm in another playback mode. 4th press, I'm in the menu. Now you've actually got 5 different sets of settings there. If you can see that little thing at the bottom, you've got the video menu, you've got the stills menu, you've got playback menu, and you've got a couple of others, including camera settings. So to change movie mode, short press on the top and then scroll through 1920 by 1080 30 frames a second, 1280 by 720 30 frames a second, 1280 by 720 60 frames a second, and 640 by 480 30 frames a second. Well, I'm going to stick with 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames a second. Press that again, it's set. Scroll down through these. You've got loop recording, movie clip time, movie off time, motion event, auto record, sound record, mic sensitivity, scene, which actually lets you shift through auto, sports, portrait, landscape and so on. I'll leave it on auto. Exposure, which changes exposure value, white balance, ISO, which is film speed, time lapse on or off, still capture, still image size, self timer, burst, which is a series of pictures in one shot, motion event shot, time lapse, scene, auto. Now we're into the stills mode. Keep going, man. Exposure, white balance, ISO for stills. Colour, natural, vivid, pale. Effect, normal, sepia, emboss. Volume, delete, protect. Format card, SD card info. And we're now into general settings. Beep on or off, power on or off, and so on and so on. TV language, date format, LCD, reset, and so on. Firmware version. I did look to see if there was a firmware update, but I wasn't sure if I had the right camera, so I've left it with the firmware that's in. And then right back through to movie mode. I must say, before I even looked at the manual, I had a go at changing settings, and it's very intuitive and easy to use. But there were a couple of omissions. For example, you'll see my videos have got a date stamp on. I can't see anywhere in the menu where you turn the date stamp on or off. You'll also see, once I'm back in video mode, that the Wi-Fi symbol is there. It seems to me that the Wi-Fi is always turned on, which Probably doesn't help battery life, although I did get 90 minutes, which is what the manufacturers claim, so maybe it's not that important. So that's about the size of that. I'll talk about the Wi-Fi. It says in the manual, search AIT Wi-Fi cam viewer, which I did on Play Store, and I've already installed it. So to use the Wi-Fi, basically, as you can see, my phone has already decided that Sports TV's there. I've already put in the passcode, which is 1234567890. Connecting. Connected. Go to the app, Wi-Fi camera. Camera control, camera preview. Connecting to camera. And as you can see, my phone is now connected to the camera. And this will allow me to change settings to turn the camera on and off remotely. Light is now flashing, it's recording. Turn the camera off. This offers some potential for putting the camera in a remote spot within Wi-Fi range and turning it on or off remotely, which is pretty handy, I think. Also will allow you to look through your downloads and view them and download them to your phone or tablet. Altogether, quite a useful bit of kit. As you can see, I've got the Android version. What else is there to say? As you saw when I was looking through the menu, you've got the usual kind of action cam functions, such as time-lapse, loop recording, continuous shooting, loads of different languages. As it says, as I mentioned, can be used for a dash cam, can be used for dash camera, audio start, stop recording when charging, not charging, motion activation, and so on. So all that remains is to get some test clips together. 1080, 30 frames a second. And why is it, whenever I want to take a test video, the sun always goes in. Well, the SJ6000, good little budget action camera. Nice size screen, easy to operate, very intuitive, easy menu. It's got a pretty good wide lens on it. The colours were really good, and a huge range of accessories with this. A couple of little niggly things, can't turn the date stamp off or the Wi-Fi off, although the battery life was very good, say 90 minutes on a full charge, and the fact the Wi-Fi is on doesn't seem to affect battery life. There's no light on the front to show you when it is actually recording, although pretty good light on the top, and you can tell from the back. At the time of my test, this is being sold by the company I've linked at £33 with all those accessories, which is a steal really. Full price is closer to £85. Probably at £85 there are some action cameras that might be marginally better, but at £35, silly not to buy one even as a spare. So anyway, good luck, have fun, and thanks for watching.